Hello friends, so this is a spontaneous astrology video. We weren't planning to do a video today, but we were just walking on the beach as we often do to clean the beach. That's our karma yoga, our little service to the world. But I've been thinking about today we need to do another astrology report because it's a very special day. It's only once every 164 years. Neptune is moving into Aries, so it's the beginning of a new era. So in astrology, of course, we're looking at the movement of the planets, and we're mostly looking at the movement of the outer planets because they are slower, more generational. The moon, is once a month, so we don't really look at it too much. Except perhaps on a personal level, you notice how your rhythms of moods change over the month. The inner planets, Mercury, Venus, move around once a year around the chart. Mars every 2 years, so it's also considered rather fast. So we begin to really look at cycles of astronomical eras, starting with Jupiter. So there's a 12-year cycle. Then we pay more attention to Saturn, which is every 29.5 years. And Saturn will also be going into Aries soon. So we'll have both Aries will have both Saturn and Neptune together. So that is not so often. So, as I often say, that astrology is like a big clock. Like when we look at a normal clock, we have 3 hands on the clock. So in astrology, we have 1 hand for each planet. So what we have, like, if we consider the 9 major planets plus Chiron, plus the moon, so we're over 10 already. And if you look at the minor planets, many more. So it's not so common when 2 planets are or 2 slow-moving planets are in the same sign. That is obviously going to be something more generational. And I heard there's been astrological research, I should check it myself, that the last time this happened was around about 500 before our common era, so 2,500 years ago. So what happened then? Well, perhaps you've heard me mention before the axial age. Axial means like when the whole wheel of life is turning around an axis. So this is a common understanding. We call it the wheel of life, the wheel of fortune. Life moves around in circles. So why would Neptune in Aries and Saturn in Aries both signal something significant to do with the axial age? Because Neptune is a planet of mystery, and it can also be spirituality, but it also dissolving structures. Then Saturn is quite the opposite, it's quite structuring. So it could be that we have an old structure dissolving, plus a new structure being created. So that is perhaps also both happening in Aries, which is like the beginning of a new cycle. So it's like every year we have New Year, or 21st of March we have the astrological year. So this is like a very big astrological year. So the Neptune qualities about spirituality, disorder, chaos, definitely there's a lot of chaos happening in the world. And but Aries being fire sign can also reflect anger. Remember that Aries is mythologically the god of war. So we could interpret Neptune in Aries meaning wars are going to be more common. So a metaphor would be as if there's a lot of fires around you. Let's say you're walking in the forest and then there's a fire over there. Then you see there's a fire over there and a fire here and a fire. Oh, I'm surrounded by fire. How am I going to survive? How to find my path through all these fires. It's quite a dangerous time, and definitely we have fires, not just war, we have political arguments, we have also personal arguments. Like the whole social media is just becoming like a battleground. Everybody has their own individual opinions now. So this is a strange phenomena, perhaps we never could have predicted with our new technology. We thought technology would bring us together, but strangely enough, it's actually separating us, because I'm on my Facebook and I see my friends, and what I like, then I get posted through the logarithm. I get more recommendations to watch things that are according to my belief system. So, and you, and must be other people, the whole groups of people that I have no connection to on the other side of the world, and I'll never know what they're thinking unless they suddenly come onto my Facebook feed and start slandering me, saying bad things because I liked a video and then they liked the same video. So we're both disconnected and connected at the same time. Now, when we are in this our own individual bubble, and we have an emotional response, we have an emotional attachment to our bubble, that can be me versus you. This is also a theme of Aries, because Aries is the key theme of I, and it's opposite Libra, which is you. So I versus you can also be a theme coming up. So we have to be watching out for this. Also, don't forget, Uranus is making a big effect on the whole world. So Uranus is soon going to go into Gemini, but it doesn't matter which sign it's in. We can just think about what's the orbit of Uranus, 84 years. So subtract today by 84 years, what do we get? We get 1941, which is the middle of the Second World War. And if we take two cycles of 84 years, then it's another 168 years, very similar to then the one orbit of Neptune. So there's another synchronicity there. So 168 years ago, America had civil war. 3 cycles of Uranus ago, America was created. So, perhaps every day you're seeing news about Trump and what's happening in America, and it could be a civil war. It is one possibility. There could be another civil war coming, because America has its 3rd Uranus return coming now. First time was its civil war. Second time was World War II. Now, third time, could it be another civil war, another revolution, another global war? But not just America, it's the whole world, because the whole world structure that we know it was created, the New World Order, the old world order as we've known it, was created just after World War II. So 1945 to about 1950, the United Nations was created, NATO was created, World Bank was created, what's called Bretton Woods, which was about financial regulation in the world. The dollar and the gold, how they were changed. So the whole world order, which was very American-centric for 80 years, is now going through a big restructuring. Whether you are a fan of Donald Trump or you feel he's the worst thing that's happened to humanity for a long time, we cannot ignore the fact that we're now having a global restructuring of the world order. So this is, it's not going to go away. It's definitely the next few years. Also, many countries were created. Israel, 1948. Mainland China, 1949. India and Pakistan, also all in that era after World War II were all created. So we can see now what's happening in Israel. It's also like a terrible situation, of course. We know their war with Palestinians been going on and off for thousands of years, but now it's like another fire ignited. So the state of Israel is also in 2032 as its first Uranus return. Also China, first Uranus return in 2032. So Uranus is usually considered to be the planet of revolutions, of the old being replaced by something new. Definitely in the next 5 years we're going to have a whole new world order, and that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be easy. So friends, please think about this, that wherever you are, remember this metaphor of you're surrounded by forest fires, so please try and find the safe way for you. Now, of course, I work with awakening psychology, and when I talk about astrology, I would like to call it the awakening of astrology, or the astrology of awakening. So what is the awakening point of this era? Well, Uranus asks us to ask ourselves, who am I? Aries also is the sign of thinking who you know. Aries is the sign of having an ego, having a personality. I think I know who I am, especially through my actions or through my reactions, through my, if I fight with someone, I argue with someone, that defines who I am. So please be aware of how you are defining yourself. Do you define yourself through your fights, arguments? Do you define yourself through your love, through your harmony? All right? Do you define yourself through your consciousness? Is it possible to define ourselves through our consciousness? That would be a key point for those of us on the spiritual path. At this time we are going to ask ourselves, well, who am I? What is my life? What is reality? What I believe, is it really who I am, or is it just my thoughts? And where did those thoughts come from? Aries, Neptune in Aries, Saturn in Aries. Aries also rules the head, so it can also be ruling the thoughts and the ego, the personality. So we can use this time to wake up. How to wake up? Question. Don't believe anything. And if you do believe something, question it. Why do I believe it? Is that really who I am? Why do I believe it? Is it really beneficial for me? Is it helpful for me to fight for my beliefs? Or, so just question and look with your intelligence. And if you are very clear with your looking, not looking outside but looking inside, you will see that you are really a nobody. You are just an accumulation of different thoughts and beliefs. So who are you if you are not a real person? You're just a mishmash of different ideas. In spirituality, in awakening, we say, you are the consciousness. You are the mirror of which everything in the world is reflected. Now, if I see that, then I have a choice. I don't have to think that what is coming in front of the mirror is me. It's just a temporary reaction. It's just coming and going. Like now, today, the weather is very strong. That's why we came into this cafe, just to, have a break from the wind and the waves. Sudden storm, sudden waves came. It's going to pass. All this huge storm that we're going through in the world is a storm. It will pass, but it's a great testing time. Is it a time that we can wake up, or is it a time when we will hold on to our ego more? So perhaps it's going to be a choice. The more we believe in the ego, the more we react from emotions, the more conflict we bring in the world. Or if we question ourselves and search for awakening, we will look at our consciousness. we will see the universal spirit that joins us all, which is love and consciousness. That's all it is. Love and consciousness are the ways towards awakening.